Demolition work underway on an eyesore in the downtown Freeport area. Details straight ahead.
The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. It was once a hot spot in the early days of Freeport. That prime property located on the Mall Drive of Freeport was purchased by the government 2 years ago at a cost of $1.9 million. But since then, it has been vandalized and has become an eyesore and an environmental health hazard to the surrounding residential community and business houses. But things are changing. This morning, heavy equipment moved in on the site a week ahead of schedule. Megan Shepard has the story.
It has been an eyesore in the downtown Freeport area for many years, and finally on Monday morning, work crews were brought in to begin demolition work at the Old Freeport Inn. It was announced on Friday that work on the Freeport Inn would begin on September 15th, but thanks to permits being issued earlier than expected, work was able to begin 1 week ahead of schedule. General Manager at Sanitation Services Luke Carroll says safety is a major concern. Inspections were carried out prior to work crews moving, and now the process can be carried out.
It's going to take about 6 weeks to do, 6 weeks at least. That will include all the hauling out, because the hauling is what really takes a long time. 10, 12 days or so we should have the buildings down. And then the crushing of the material and hauling out is what's going to take the bulk of the time.
Now, it was also announced that 2 buildings will remain on the premises in the hands of the Public Hospitals Authority. Carroll says they will also try to save many of the plants on the property.
We're going to save all of it if we can. We're going to relocate some of the trees, shrubs to areas so that they can be used in the future. The pool and concrete area, the pool is going to be filled in, the concrete area is going to be left, and the building back here, these 2 buildings back here, they're going to be left. Just the 4 big structures, large structures, they're going to come down, and the entrance and the small building over here.
Officers from Urban Renewal and the Police Traffic Division were present at Monday morning's demolition and will be present throughout the process. Assistant Superintendent Kenwood Taylor says that once the buildings have been demolished, the goal is to transport the debris to the city's dump without injury to the general public. He's advising all motorists and residents to move about the area with extreme caution.
We cannot overly emphasize the importance of residents to remain and to not come on the property while the demolition is in process, and to remain from this particular area. It's a very dangerous site. As you can see, there's a lot of glass in the building, and so we want to encourage residents, members of the public, to stay clear of this particular area. It's not an implosion. We're not using any type of explosive. They're going to be using one of those very large excavators, and so it's no need to cordon off the streets, but we're going to have traffic officers posted in this area.
The demolition process and cleanup of the site is expected to be completed within the next 2 weeks. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Abaco police are investigating a boating accident that has left 1 man in hospital with serious injuries. According to reports, around 10 o'clock last night, a 35-foot container vessel exploded some 6 miles southeast of Walker's Key in the Abacos. 5 people were on board, and 1 of them sustained second-degree burns about the body. He was transported to the Grand Key Clinic and then to Grand Bahama for further medical attention. In other news, newly elected members of the West Grand Bahama Local Government Council meeting in a weekend conclave. Island Administrator Alexander Williams defining the role of local government and says it is for local government to move away from the fix, cleanup, and repair routine. He says local government is the holistic developmental process of the local people who have elected leaders to serve their communities.
You know, used to having clean parks and grounds, and the people are ignorant and they do not adhere to some basic principles, and they're not living and contributing to the community. It must be a process through participatory involvement of the people drawing from the resources, local, national, and international. We've got to now start to open our wings because we're too closed in. We've got to start to develop sister districts, and where possible, we've got to go there and explore what happens in other jurisdictions and compare with what we do at home.
Williams noting that it is no coincidence that the local government constitution mandates that leaders must live in their respective communities. He says it is the pillar of strength for democracy, and it is clear that local government is best and more responsive because democracy is deepened through participatory governance.
Every local government representative must live in that place. So if there's a pothole, he rolls over it every day. When the water goes off, he feels it because his water goes off. When the garbage and refuse is not collected timely, he knows it and he feels it. So evidently, he would be more responsive because only he who feels it knows it, and we all know that.
As the November 6th referendum date draws near and the Constitutional Commission continues its mandate to educate Bahamians on the proposed changes, a local pastor is weighing in on the debate. Pastor of Mount Calvary Baptist Church, Reverend Paul Mullings, says he doesn't believe there needs to be a change to the Constitution. He is of the view that gender equality already exists in this country.
I believe that women have all of the same rights that we have as men. That's how I feel about the Constitution, and I believe women are just as important. In fact, women are as equal as men, according to Scripture. In fact, we want a job done, you give it to a woman. She does it better than us men.
When it comes to citizenship, the religious leader says the focus should be on regularizing people born here in the Bahamas to foreign parents.
We have a whole community of disenfranchised Bahamians. Well, let me put it this way, people were born here to foreign parents, all right? That they need to deal with their citizenship problem. We have a whole, people who ain't going nowhere. They're not a part of our economy and all that good stuff. So they can't really contribute in a meaningful way. If we deal with citizenship, we should deal with that. They're not born here, but we're trying to secure citizenship for them. But then there are others who are born here that we're denying citizenship.
He's also concerned about the enforcement of the law as it relates to the proposed amendments to the Constitution.
Any law that's placed on our books is only as good as the persons who are entrusted with enforcing those laws, like the Immigration Department. Because we may pass those laws tomorrow and say you have to wait 5 years to get or apply for citizenship. But if I know you my boy, I call you, listen man, I just married this girl from the Dominican Republic. I need to get her straight. 6 months down the road, she got citizenship.
Pastor Mullings shares his views on the upcoming referendum.
Personally, I feel it's going to be defeated.
The 8 Mile Rock High School is still mourning the loss of educator Nancy Seymour. During the school's regular assembly this morning, the Deputy Director of Education took the time out to recognize Seymour for her invaluable contributions to the education system. Shashina Roll was there.
And so, Nancy, yes, I registered you with the Ministry of Education 9 years ago. But today, your name is registered on the Lamb's Book of Life.
Deputy Director of Education Sandra Edgecombe visited the 8 Mile Rock High School and paid tribute to educator Nancy Seymour, who passed away on Friday. She told teachers, faculty, and students about the first time she met Seymour, who was once the principal of Freeport Gospel Chapel.
I remember interviewing her. She came in with a smile. And she said to me, "Wherever you send me, I will go." I don't always hear that from teachers. I always hear, "I can't get there."
I don't have a car. It's too far. Miss Seymour, with her smile on her face, said, I don't want to be an administrator. I've just left administration. I want to teach.
With that, Seymour was hired as a teacher of 8 Mile Rock High School. According to Edgecombe, Seymour was excited about her post in Blue Jay country.
She bubbled and her smile increased when she said, Mrs. Edgecombe, I will go. And so on the file of Nancy Seymour in the Department of Education is the word willing to go to serve. Because truly, that's what she was. Never heard a complaint. The good thing about what I saw in Miss Seymour, that no matter who the principal was, she didn't try to take over. She didn't hog it up for the position. She served her principals and her administrators well.
Described as helpful, considerate, and one who always went above and beyond, Edgecombe says Seymour's presence will surely be missed.
All of those students who passed through the classrooms of Nancy Seymour, your lives are richer for it and you are better off. Because I know she did not just teach you the business of business, but she taught you how to live. Because she was a godly woman. She was a God-fearing woman. She loved the Lord. And because she loved the Lord, she loved you.
Teachers, faculty, and staff at Blue Jay Country agree.
Till we reach that promised land, and we walk hand in hand, may He give you strength to stand till we meet again, till we meet again.
Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
Now, a formal memorial will be planned in honor of Seymour at a later date. Stay with us. There's more news after this.
Bringing news that matters to you. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The public school system working to alleviate overcrowding this 2014-2015 school year through the establishment of a new junior high school campus. Tonight we take a look at this new institution and what it means for the education system on Grand Bahama. At the beginning of this second week in the new academic year, registration at the new Jack Hayward Junior High School continues, with over 500 students already enrolled. Principal Albert Jones says, despite this, school got off to a smooth start at the new campus.
We basically started from scratch, and so we were able to move a lot of furniture from over at the senior high to get started here. We had to look at our space and what our volume of students would be. And for the most part, we've been able to run the timetable for the 3 days last week. I had full days on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And so today and tomorrow will be the end of a full week of running the timetable. And so far, you know, except for the new students that are coming in and some are still registering as we speak, we're going to be able to accommodate the load that we anticipated. We're not short on teachers, we're not short on rooms, and so we just got to make sure we have the furniture and everything to make sure all the bodies have a place.
He says there was a great demand for the separation of Jack Hayward High and the junior division.
The idea for the school is a long time coming. We were together for 2 years as from 7 through 12 over at the senior high campus. And, you know, parents had a lot of concerns about the junior students mingling with the senior students. And we had some issues that I think that this separation would alleviate.
Jones believes this move paves the way for academic improvements at the junior level.
The new high school diploma, National High School Diploma, is coming on stream. That is going to require students to have, before they reach grade 12, 4 BJCs in order to graduate. And so we're looking at our grade 9s, and we're going to see how close we can come to having as many of those students who would be leaving here and mostly moving on to senior high and basically to Jack Hayward Senior High, to have the requirements for that National High School Diploma before.
As the school works towards academic excellence, Jones says there is a safety concern with parents dropping off and picking up their children.
In the afternoons, we've been going out front to the parking lot and taking a look at how the traffic is moving, how the children move between the parking lot and their pickup areas. The practice here that was established at the Bahama Catholic High School was for students to be picked up and dropped off on the basketball court, where we have a school zone established, but we're looking to see that if we can get some pedestrian crossings put in place, and we want to be able to train our children to move safely through the parking lot to their pickup areas, because there's a lot of traffic coming in. So we're encouraging all parents, all bus drivers, everyone to pick up and drop off inside the gate.
The Falcons Boys Club, attached to Tabernacle Baptist Academy, giving back to scores of young men this school term. This past Saturday, the boys received backpacks filled with school supplies donated by 5 local businesses. A representative with Apex International Marketing, Anastasia Simmons, says they were thrilled to assist the Falcons Boys program.
The Falcons Boys Club have been doing this for over 2 decades, and I am just delighted to be here. I'm delighted to share with the young men the reasons why they need to celebrate the fact that they can go back to school and that they are equipped, because sponsors would have given them X amount of materials to do so.
Guest speaker for the event, program coordinator at the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, Carla Brown-Roker, says she is happy to do her part to help nurture young men so that they can become productive citizens.
It is really a humbling experience as well as a privilege for us to be able to contribute to an organization such as this. This club is going to affect these boys, and they're going to take that influence into their families, into their communities, into their schools, and if they have the opportunity to go to college, it's going to be international. And so we are so pleased to be able to be a part of this type of organization.
Now, Roca challenged the young men of the Boys Club to be the Falcons that they are and soar to higher heights. A young mother has a heart-wrenching story tonight. After giving birth to a baby girl, doctors discovered that the child has a life-threatening illness. It will take hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep this child alive, and the procedure must be done before the infant turns 11 months. Shashina Roll has more.
A mother, eyes filled with tears and nowhere to turn but the Bahamian community. Corey Stubbs says she needs not just Grand Bahama, but the entire Bahamas and anyone with the means to help keep her little daughter heaven here on earth. Pregnant with twins, Stubbs said one died due to a low heartbeat, but on July 3rd she gave birth to little Heaven.
When she was born, she had a very dark color, and her respiration was very high. Doctors examined her, and before they had discharged us, they had called me in and let me know that they noticed that she had a heart murmur. And upon us being discharged, they referred us to see a physician, a specialist in Nassau, a pediatric cardiologist.
She says for 3 weeks, Heaven cried uncontrollably. She went back to the hospital, and that's when it was discovered that the newborn had heart failure. Later in Nassau, it was discovered that the child has a condition called tetralogy of Fallot. The facilities are not available in the Bahamas to keep this child alive, and Stubbs says the baby has to see a doctor in the United States. The cost of the surgery can be anywhere from $250,000 to $500,000.
Just knowing the fact that she needs this operation and I can't supply the funds is a strain on me mentally but I'm pleading with the public, the corporate businesses, the church, the Bahamian community at large, whoever can be of assistance to heaven, to assist us.
That may be a lot of money, but fighting for a child's life is something that any parent would not think twice about doing. Now she has come up with a strategy to gain support for Heaven via social media.
We have a lot of Bahamians supporting the Ice Bucket Challenge. So I started a challenge on Facebook, hashtag Heaven on Earth. And it's just asking you to click on her page. There's a GoFundMe page that was set up for her, for donations to be made online. Asking persons to click, read her story, to donate, and share. And with that challenging, after you make your donation challenging, 3 other persons or how many other persons you choose to make a donation as well.
Her friend Rochelle Higgs is making this appeal for everyone to go on gofundme.com/Heaven on Earth. Donate, and then when you're done, hashtag on your social media page Heaven on Earth.
I went to the hospital and I saw her laying there in the incubator with these stuff hooked up to her, and she's helpless. And we're asking for your support. Whatever it is that you can donate, you can click online and Corey Stubbs, and it has a page that you can share. And we challenge you to send a donation. We're trying to put cookouts together, whatever we can, but we're not appealing just to Grand Bahama. We're appealing to the world at large.
Shashina Roll, ZNS Network News.
Now you can also help to keep Little Heaven right here on Earth by making a donation at Royal Bank, account number 7537988, branch number 05285, or Scotiabank, account number 4923042, branch number 80515. Don't go away. Sports is up next with Ricardo Lightbourne.
Everybody, welcome to Sports. I'm Ricardo Lightbourne. I'm dedicating sports tonight to my very good friend David Stretch Morley, who lost his wife Stephanie on the weekend. We have you and the girls in our prayers during this difficult time, bro. Well, the YMCA Commercial Basketball League semifinals playoffs are underway. The Hawks and Warriors on court. Let's take a hop to the Y. The Ironman Hawks and the Grand Lucine Warriors on court, and what a ball game. The shots were evident on both sides of the ball. Warriors ball, watch the good passing. Irvin Lewis with the finish. He's working on a 14-point game. Grand Lucine played tough. Watch Carvel Bain with the rock. That's good for 3 of his 12 points. 52 all in 1:34 to play. The Knights ball. Franco Miller with the baseline move. Franco netted 10 points. Here comes the Warriors. Jamal Hall to the hoop. He'll get hacked in the act. Jamal finished with 10. We are tied now at 56, and the Hawks with the ball. Watch the clock. Anton Thompson with the good look. Counted. That's the ball game. The Ironman Hawks prevail. Coaches Quincy Gray and Garnett Hall summed up the game.
We didn't play our best defensive game tonight. We gave her too many open looks. Game could have gone either way. Warriors gave us all we could handle tonight. Fortunately, we made one shot to the end. I just keep telling the guys, make sure we get the last shot. And, overtime is the worst possibility.
Take me to game 2. What is the plan? You look at that.
Defensively, we need to move better, cut off guys from dribble penetration, and we gave up too many open looks from three-point line. But we're going to go back to the drawing board and work on some things. We'll be ready for Monday night.
We struggled a little bit tonight. We didn't have our center out tonight, so it hurt us a little bit with the depth. We only had 6 players. But there was a big shot by Anton. That's what big players do in big-time situations, so you got to take your hats off to them.
Take me to game 2. How do you feel about game 2?
We should be good in game 2 because we love Jabbar back, and we should be all right.
All Sharks, Barco Oilers in the flip side of the playoffs. Here's what the coaches had to say before the start of the game.
I think it should be a wonderful series. Of course, I expect us to be victorious. Both teams will play hard, I'm sure. Let's keep our head in the game. Once we execute, we'll be okay.
It's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. You got Marco Cooper, you got Alden Austin, Jay Felipe. It's going to be rough, but we want to start on the inside and then work our shooting back in the effect.
The Statoil Sharks got off first from the arc. The Barco Oilers' Tomasio Dames came to play and takes the rock to the hoop. The Sharks went to their inside game. Their big man, Marco Cooper, working very hard. Boaco Oilers, they simply have some shooters like Dejan Wagos. Dejan with a 14-point game in this one. But Stadol also got some shooters. Jay Philippe, he cashed in. Tomasio Dames has his own plans. Watched his baseline move for 2 of his 14 points. Marco Cooper working on a 20-point ball game for Stad Oil. Amato Hepburn helping the cause. That's good. The Boaco Oilers a bit too much for Stad Oil Sharks. Clemente Martin scored 30 points in the 82-70 win. They're back on court 7 o'clock. Go check them out. Let's look at your sports tonight.